In the 70s, there's no doubt that I felt that white people were more capable than black people. I'd been indoctrinated into that thinking.
I hated white people. I hated them. You see people all the time running. You see people coming to your house to hide themselves. There's nothing positive happening around you. There's nothing interesting happening around you. What is happening around you? It's only violence. Those are the things that I saw and say, you know what? I hate white people.
I came from a typically white, privileged, urban background. My parents put me into university at Wits, and then the army caught me, as they did everybody. Before I'd even had my matric results, I was 3 months in the army at Kimberley, age 17. My career then extended 16 years. I couldn't get rid of the army, and they couldn't get rid of me.
When I was growing up, around about 8, 9, things didn't go well. I found myself being a tourist, moving from one place to the other. You know, I don't know how many places that I stayed in. Then I started to be a comrade, so. And then I think it's where my life changed altogether.
The primary task of enforcing the apartheid laws was with the police. And it was only in times of severe unrest that the army would be called in, and then you knew things were bad. So, 1976, 1986, and then you'd be called up for 2 or 3 days to go and lie at a roadblock in Soweto somewhere. Bearing in mind, young guys, white guys at that stage, never been into Soweto. I mean, it was like verboten, and one sensed the resentment and the anger in the people of Soweto, and you were part of that action. It was an uncomfortable feeling.
I still remember by that time they said there was a state of emergency. I was now approaching 13, 14. Everything that comes to Soweto to deliver, whether is it food, furniture, everything, will ban all those things. Brewery, I still remember. I was so brave in such a way that people were scared. The moment that stood out for me, I was missed close range, 2 shots. And then I still remember it was only there. When you feel like something passed your ear, I felt that fire. Then the same night, we are sleeping, here you hear the voice of policemen knocking at your door. And then I was taken, and then I was beaten up, Baba. And then I have to show them where we put all those guns. It was in the sewage. Fortunately enough, I was underage. What comes into mind, it says in that close range, there was no any other part that you can aim to. Honestly speaking, you wanted my head.
What struck me when Khosiami told his story was that we could have been face to face.
After sharing the story, it was like, really, Derek, you are the one who was after me. I was throwing stones at you. And then here we are. In fact, we click.
I think there's a bond there that's formed by this knowledge that possibly around the same time he was throwing stones and being shot at by the police, and I was lying there in Soweto with my gun at the ready with live bullets. Fortunately, I never had to shoot, but that's created a special bond.
We're no longer throwing stones to each other. We talk about who scored the beautiful goal, and we went to the stadium together, wearing the Pirates shirt, shouting Amapagania. It was like those events, it tells you that, what, we are yearning for that.
I was really struck for probably the first time to understand how different we were at the time, the different backgrounds that we'd come from, and to realize the depth of his anger and frustration, and I understood it for the first time.
The honest feeling when I first saw Derek, I saw a huge guy. He's tall, well respected. That's what I saw. When he started saying police van carrying guns, were taken to ward. And then if I remember, he said he was 20-something by that time. And you can imagine, we are 20-something, and why should I blame you for that?
My dream for the country is that everybody sees the benefit of trying to get to know each other in their own circles just that much better. It can make a massive difference. What's so difficult to change that? The difficulties takes effort.
We were throwing stones. Now those stones have been turned to be something else.